en œuvre. Did Bruce Willis' final famous appearance in Split meant that Glass was already planned between you both, and written and financed and ready to enter production? James, what did you actually know of Night's project by then? And did you both maybe somehow did you take the risk of not being able to fulfill the promise and make the film?
That's a lot. So, wow. The Bruce thing. Hey. You answer that.
Yeah, we'll decipher some of it. It was step by step, you know, and each one was an act of faith, I think, a little bit. So the first thing for me was, let's make this thriller, and the last scene I'm going to kind of keep off a little bit, and we won't shoot it with the main movie, and we'll do it as a separate little unit. And then in theory, what the idea for Split was that it should work on its own as a thriller. Mm-hmm. And then we'll do this thing, and hopefully Disney, excuse me, that Disney will allow me to do this legally. And if I said, oh, please let me use one of your characters and let Universal release it. It sounds crazy when I say it like that, but I just, more was, hey, can you let me do this favor? And they did.
They did.
And then we got to do that, and then when before the movie came out, I started to write Glass. So that was a weird thing, and I told you I was writing it, but I wasn't sure we were gonna make it, because if the movie didn't connect with audiences, or you know, you guys didn't appreciate it, then I guess we weren't gonna make it. So there was a lot of acts of faith. Then on top of that, so then the movie opened, and I wrote it, and then I had to ask both studios if we could make it in a joint fashion. Now this was super unusual, because both movies owned 100% of each movie. So it's a weird thing. Hey, can I take some of your characters, and can I take some of your characters that you own the rights to, and can we share them and make this movie? And again, they both said yes, and to make it in the manner that we made it, which is, hey, we don't want you to fund it. I'm going to fund it. We're going to make it extremely small. And it could be insane and crazy and all that stuff, but that's what you're going to release. And they said, yes, it can. I mean, it's just all too good and too lucky. And I don't know how it happened.
You're all really talented, so that's what
I'll translate this. Ça s'est passé vraiment.
I'm so sorry.
That's right.
Oh my God, I forgot you were there.
Ça s'est passé vraiment étape par étape, et on a voulu d'abord avec Split faire un thriller qui fonctionne. C'était vraiment quelque chose que je voulais qu'il soit un film qui fonctionne tout seul, séparément du reste, et je voulais qu'il ait un fonctionnement de thriller. Et puis j'ai demandé à un thriller qui me permette d'utiliser ce personnage à la fin, le personnage de Bruce Willis. Et j'étais très étonné qu'il accepte, puisque c'est un film Universal, et que c'était Universal qui allait le sortir. Mais ils m'ont donné l'autorisation. Et ce bouquet de Disney également nous a permis à penser à la suite. Mais avant la sortie de ce film, de Split, je n'avais pas du tout écrit Glass. J'ai attendu la sortie parce que je me disais, si jamais Split ne fonctionne pas, ne marche pas, ce ne sera pas la peine de donner la suite. Et puis il a fallu demander l'autorisation aux deux studios, puisque chaque studio est propriétaire à 100% de chacun des films. C'est Universal qui avait Split, et c'était Disney qui était propriétaire de tous les personnages du film Unbreakable, Incassable. Je leur ai demandé la permission en leur demandant, je veux le financer moi-même, je veux le produire petit, et c'est vous qui le sortirez. Et ils m'ont dit OK pour tout. Et c'est ça quand même qui a déclenché les choses. Wow. And you were going to continue.
Was I? I'm having a tough day. So, yeah, I didn't really
in terms of, I'm blurry about what you knew and what you didn't know.
I didn't know a hell of a lot, really. There was a small reference in the original script that I read of Split to the fact that it was linked in some way to Unbreakable, but it was very, very, it was tiny and it was vague, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool, he's referencing his own work a little bit. I thought, it's interesting, I didn't quite understand it. And then we were in rehearsals for Split, and Night just happened to mention, because you know, of course, it's like in the world of David Dunn and all that, and I was like, oh, right, okay. And I think I just pretended that I always got that. I always knew that for maybe a couple of weeks until I revealed to you that it was news to me at that point. he revealed to me that there was an option of maybe, possibly, if this one did well, if did Split did well, we'd go on to do Glass. But really, as an actor, I hear so many ideas and so many, we're going to do this and we're going to do that, that I thought, great idea, but I just put it out of my head and put it to the side, because you can't really afford to believe until you're actually making the movie, do you know what I mean? So when Glass made, good business and everybody liked it, it was nice to see one of those great ideas, one of those grand promises that you hear tons of in the industry actually coming to fruition. And like Nike said, it's just been, one sort of 100-to-1 shot of this working out for many reasons, all working out, one after another. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Je ne savais que très très peu de choses du projet quand on commençait. Quand on avait fait Split, j'avais trouvé dans le scénario une petite référence à un lien possible avec un cassable, et puis je me suis dit, le réalisateur, Night, il se fait de l'auto-référence, c'est très cool, c'est gentil. Et en faisant les répétitions pour Split, là, j'ai commencé à comprendre qu'il y avait des liens avec le personnage de David qui étaient vraiment assez forts, mais je ne comprenais pas tout. Et en fait, j'ai fait semblant d'avoir compris. Et puis, on en a parlé un peu plus tard. Night m'a dit qu'il y avait la possibilité de tourner Glass. Mais en tant qu'acteur, il y a tellement de projets comme ça dont j'entends parler, et souvent je n'écoute pas vraiment beaucoup, je n'y prête pas attention parce qu'il y a beaucoup de projets qu'on évoque et qui ne se font pas. Et j'ai vu là vraiment cette grande promesse devenir petit à petit une réalité, et c'est merveilleux de voir que toutes les choses qu'il fallait que l'on surmonte pour que ce film Glass soit réalisé, que tout finisse par fonctionner, que tout soit possible. Peut-être une question dans la salle.
Hi. Hello. Thanks for the movie. Thanks for everything. Great cameo, by the way.
Oh, thanks, man.
So I have a two-part question. First question is, among the 20 characters you played, or 20 personalities, which one is your favorite? And the second one is, you teased us with a big thing. Do you have any plans for that?
Alors, bravo pour le film. Bravo pour votre apparition aussi dans le film Night. Première question, il y a 20 personnages que vous interprétez, quel est votre personnage préféré? Et puis il y a comme une sorte de teaser dans le film, il y a quelque chose d'assez grand quand même qui est peut-être annoncé. Est-ce que vous pouvez nous en parler? C'est pour Night.
In different films, there's different characters. So in Split, it was Patricia. In Glass, I think it's Hedwig, but he only makes a small cameo, but the character who narrates from the third-person point of view, I really enjoyed that.
Oh, the narrator guy?
Yeah, the guy who
narrates his own life.
He narrates his own life. Everything he experiences, he narrates it in the third person, and I really like that a lot. That was such a cool characteristic.
Dans Split, c'était Patricia, mon personnage préféré. Peut-être que là, dans Glass, ça a été Hedwig. Mais j'ai aussi un faible pour un petit personnage, un petit rôle. C'est celui du narrateur, le gars qui raconte toute sa vie à la troisième personne. Ça, c'est quelque chose que j'ai vraiment adoré.
I believe in kind of leaving movies a little incomplete, so that the audience can participate and finish the story. And a lot of great movies that I admire have that technique of don't finish everything, don't say everything, and let the story continue as you're walking into the parking lot to your car. I don't like the idea of you walking to your car and going, all right, what are we going to eat now? And you've totally forgotten. I want it to be, the story is still unfolding in you. And so the thing you're referencing is more in that category for me, that it's kind of, each of the movies have the same format, and they are, at the end of Unbreakable, this is where we're at in the story? What? And the same thing in Split at the very last scene. Wait a minute, this is where we're at in the story? And the same thing with Glass. Wait, this is where we're at? Which act are you in the meta story of it? And that's fun to have that realization of where are you in the book of the story. But for me, I think I'm done telling these stories with these characters. So I want to move on. So it's more for your imagination to finish.
Je crois que j'aime les films imparfaits, j'aime les films qui sont incomplets, qui laissent le public, quand il sort de la salle, terminer l'histoire pour lui-même et remplir les béances que la narration peut laisser. Beaucoup de films que moi j'aime ça fonctionne comme ça dans l'histoire du cinéma, et c'est comme ça que j'aime faire des films. Ce dont vous me parlez, c'est quelque chose qui est, pour moi, fait partie de ça. Pour moi, ce sont des béances. Je crois qu'à chaque fois que j'ai fait un film, et pour les deux films dont on parle là, précédents, pour Unbreakable et pour Split, on arrive toujours à la fin à un moment où le public se dit « Ah, mais on en est là, ah, mais c'est ça, c'est là où on se trouve finalement dans l'histoire ». Et c'est ainsi que, quelque part, j'invite le public à remplir sa méta-histoire, si vous voulez, sur la trilogie. Mais pour ma part, je pense que j'en ai fini avec ces personnages. Je pense que maintenant, il est temps que je m'en éloigne et que je passe à autre chose.
Oui, parmi les séquences les plus hallucinantes du film, il y a deux scènes qui viennent d'Incassable. La scène entre Bruce Willis et son fils et la scène du train. Je voudrais savoir si, Night, vous avez eu cette idée très en amont du scénario. Est-ce que vous saviez que vous alliez inclure des images d'Incassable dans Glass?
There are two wonderful and magic and extraordinary scenes in the film. There are the flashbacks, the one with Bruce Willis and his son, and the one in the train. Did you know very early in the script writing that you had those scenes and that you were going to include them?
Yeah, there was another scene as well that I had in the movie that I pulled out, which I just to the last second I had in. It was a scene where Bruce in the original Unbreakable talks to a priest, and he you've never seen this, and he talks to a priest and after the train wreck, and he's like, what does it mean, and the priest gets angry at him and he goes, it means nothing, you were just lucky. And he goes, no, but nothing happened to me. The face in my wash was crushed and nothing happened to me. And the priest starts tearing up, and he goes, my 12-year-old nephew was on the train with you. His neck was broken in 4 places. What are you trying to tell me? You were chosen? I don't think so. And he starts crying, And that scene is a really powerful scene, and I wanted it so badly in the movie. And it was in the middle where you see David kind of doubting whether he's special or not. So that was the third scene that I had. So I had these 3 scenes I really wanted in there. And the only reason I pulled out that scene is because it was so heavy and dramatic, and it was bogging it down a hair, the movement. And when you're making a thriller, you just have to honor the god of thriller, and that's the tricky balance.
Oui, il y avait en fait une autre scène que également je voulais utiliser dès l'écriture, une scène qui avait été coupée du montage de Incassable. C'est une scène où Bruce s'adresse à un prêtre. C'est peu de temps après l'accident de train, et il questionne le prêtre. Il lui demande qu'est-ce qui s'est passé. Et le prêtre lui répond, mais ça veut simplement dire que vous avez eu de la chance, c'est tout. Et Bruce Willis lui dit, mais c'est pas possible, je suis le seul survivant, ça a forcément une signification. Et le prêtre lui répond, moi j'ai un neveu de 12 ans qui était dans le train, et sa nuque a été brisée plein de fois, il est mort. Vous voulez dire donc que vous seriez l'élu, c'est ça que vous voulez me dire? Et il tombe, il pleure, le prêtre. Et cette scène que je voulais à l'origine inclure dans ce nouveau film, elle était tellement dramatique, elle était tellement triste aussi, que j'ai décidé à la dernière minute de la retirer du montage de Glass, parce que dans un thriller il faut avancer selon les lois du thriller, et que c'était pas possible de garder cette scène.
Alors une question pour chacun de vous, d'abord pour Night, je voulais savoir s'il lui arrivait d'avoir l'angoisse de la page blanche, ou est-ce qu'il avait plusieurs scénarios d'avance. Et pour James, est-ce qu'il est plus difficile de jouer la bête, qui est une représentation de l'hypervirilité et de la colère, ou d'imiter la démarche d'une femme?
A question for both. For you, Night, do you have the anxiety of the white page, or do you have several scripts that you have in advance for making films? And for you, James, was it more difficult to play the beast with this quality and these particular things, or was it more difficult to play the woman and the walk of a woman?
I was going to answer your question without understanding it. I heard blanche in there, and so I was like white, and then something I was trying to put together. I was going to try to, just as a joke, try to answer what I thought you were asking, but that's not what I...
J'ai essayé de comprendre ce que vous disiez, j'ai entendu le mot blanche, j'ai compris autre chose. Donc j'allais essayer de répondre à la question que j'avais comprise, qui n'était pas du tout celle qui était.
That'd be a fun conference where I just answer first what I think you're saying.
Ça, ce serait une conférence de presse qui serait vraiment. Je répondrai à ce que je crois comprendre de vos questions.
Yes, I like white ice cream, and yes, and oh, you like my white shirt. Thank you.
Vous parlez de ma chemise.
You know, I get stimulated by this. So in a few days, I'm going to go home. I'll be done the movie, and by done the movie means I'll have opened the movie around the world, and whatever happens, it'll happen, and I'll have an emotional reaction or not to what's happening, and it'll just be me and a notebook first by myself, and I know what I want to write. So here's where I am, on the thing I want to write. I'm close, but I haven't solved it. And when I say solved it, I don't have that feeling like I have to make it. I don't have that feeling yet. So I'm scared I never will. So that's the thing. So the blank page, I'm scared, right? And so this thing, I'm scared. I don't know if maybe I'm wasting my time. This is not the right idea, or maybe I'm forcing this. That's the nightmare. I'm forcing it. So that's the blank page in a few days I'll be going to. And I'll write, right now my theory is, and trying to deal with that anxiety of the blank page, is just throw down ideas. So I will spend the day just thinking of ideas that can, in the world, in the milieu of this story. Oh, a woman that does this, and oh, that's that color. Ooh, we can take the tree and use the shadows. Just anything, Like I wrote yesterday in the hotel room, I want to use sharp dolly moves like Kurosawa did in Rashomon, because the place where this story takes place is very amorphous. It's not. I'm trying not to tell you anything. And so
On the moon? Is it in Mars?
No.
Is it in space?
And so
Am I in it?
the sharp moves. And the sharp moves are, point A to point B will help define the space, and that feels right. So, I don't know why, so I wrote that down. Keep doing that until I feel peace. Right now, I don't feel peace about it. So, it's a little bit terrifying.
Pour répondre à votre question, en fait, l'histoire de la page blanche, ça me stimule énormément. Et quand je vais rentrer chez moi, après la tournée internationale de ce film, que ce soit un succès ou un échec, je vais m'éloigner de ça, je vais réagir ou pas, que ça marche ou pas, et puis je vais me mettre au travail. Je vais me dire, bon, tant pis, maintenant je passe à autre chose. Je sais avant tout ce que j'ai envie d'écrire. Je sais que le sujet, il est proche de moi, je vois que... Mais je n'ai pas résolu tous les aspects de l'écriture de ce que je veux faire. Rien ne m'oblige à écrire ce film, sans doute, mais j'ai quand même peur de ne pas y arriver et je dois essayer de m'y atteler. Peut-être que ce sera une perte de temps, mais je